Greetings! It is I, Tentus Van Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time for Gathering the Roll, the only news program supported by the Empire, with exciting and fantastic news from the worlds of collectible card games, such as Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and of course Pokemon, from role-playing games such as Dungeons & Dragons, Shadowrun, and Pathfinder, and of course, board games. But today, we're of course going to start up by diving into the collectible card game news, and of course, Magic the Gathering. So with Magic the Gathering, we have two things I want to talk about. First off, because I'm a big fan of tokens, the tokens for Amonkhet have been spoilered. Now you can check out all the tokens, which is about 25 of them, and this includes all the embalmed creature tokens, plus another of other creature type tokens you can get out with, and Gideon's Planeswalker emblem. So now you can check out all the tokens. Of course, links will be in the description below for the pictures of all of them. The other big announcement, of course, is coming up this weekend is the pre-release of Amonkhet. So it's now finally out. So if you want to go to one of these pre-release events, you can go participate, maybe get some cool cards, play some games, have a fun time. You can find out a participating location near you. Just give them a call. There are plenty of them going on. Check out the pre-release now. Now let's move on, of course. There is still some more Vampire the Eternal Struggle news. They've got some more spoilers of cards, some more images, and of course more clarifications on the rules. It actually is clarifications. It's weeks away from the release of Anthology, where if you're at this event, you can get it. Of course, you can get it even if you're not participating anymore because they've expanded the ways you can get this exciting set. But of course, with this comes updates on the rules, and they're continually giving it. I will link to this current update on the rules in the description below. Just know that there's more clarifications going on in this. But let's move on, though, to some Cardfight Vanguard news. Because guess what? There's a new release in Cardfight Vanguard. Cardfight Vanguard G, Booster Pack 10, Raging Clash of the Blade Fangs, takes a number of very popular clans, puts them together in one set, and releases it. So there's now some cards from a bunch of the popular clans out together in this set now. Check it out if you're interested in any of those. Of course, the entire list will be in the link in the description below if you want to see that full list of clans that are involved in this one. Now, let's move on to some Yu-Gi-Oh! News, because guess what? There's also some releases in Yu-Gi-Oh! Machine Reactor and Dino Masher's Fury, two structure decks. These are 42 card decks sold separately that you can either get together or get separately. Basically, it's technology versus Tyrannosauruses, and guess what? You can get these two special decks now, based around these particular themes. Let's now move on, though, to our role-playing game news. Exciting, isn't it? We do have some more news from D&D. It's unfortunately going to be the last of the Unearthed Arcana in the current season of Unearthed Arcana. This doesn't mean we're going to be done with them. It just means we're going to expect one or two a month now, instead of the normal every week. But they've come out with yet another one, which is a very interesting one. Feats as skills. Now, what does this mean exactly? This means for every skill your character might have, they've come up with a feat that matches thematically within that, granting a number of abilities that do both match with that skill and supplement its abilities. So now you can check out the full list online of all these various feats. If your DM is allowing you to use feats, and has been interested in Unearthed Arcana, you can show this list to them, give you some options of enhancing those skills you have with these new and exciting feats that just give you those big bonuses to using them. Again, link will be in the description below, but you can check it out for yourself, and I would recommend seeing if your DM would use it, or if your DM, consider allowing your players to take it. I know I will. Now, in some Pathfinder news, there are two new releases. We have, of course, Bestiary 6. This is over 200 new monsters, including a number of demigods. This is demon lords, Clipoth lords, Cthulhuian horrors, a bunch of very powerful creatures that now you could theoretically use in your games if you really needed to know the stat with them, and a bunch of other friendly races and possibly playable races that you can use in your Pathfinder games. It is, of course, out now. Also out is a new map pack, Secret Rooms. So if you need to create a map and you need some kind of secret place to hide some kind of powerful magic item, a treasure, an artifact, whatever it is, some kind of secret, you can now use this map pack and associate with all the maps you're building in order to, of course, add a little bit of secret mystery to your adventures. You can get it now. Also, we do have some GURPS news. 2 new books have been put onto the reprint list. These are, of course, more classic books that haven't been printed in quite a long time, but now they're getting a modern reprint of it. GURPS Mysteries and GURPS Starships. Both of them exactly sound how they are. Mysteries is based around having mystery games. Starships is, of course, based around using starships in your GURPS games. You can get them now to basically bring these back into the modern era and update them into your current GURPS games. But also, finally out in role-playing games news is Pathfinder Beyond Everglow. So this is for the Pathfinder sort of series of materials that have come out, which sort of match with the thematics of something like My Little Pony, but with the settings of course, Pathfinder and D&D. So this is material that is compatible for both Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and Pathfinder. But it's allowing you to bring yourselves to space with your Ponyfinder materials. It's basically space travel. It gives you a great feeling of something classic D&D like Spelljammer, or for more modern, Starfinder for Pathfinder. So you can check this out now and include that in your adventures if you want a little bit of silliness in your campaign, but also a little bit of cuteness. Both are fine to add in sometimes. Let's move on to some board games news, though. We do have a couple of releases this week. We have Try Robex, or Tiny Robots Big Explosions. It's a new miniatures war game, where of course each player is taking control of a number of tiny robots, and of course causing big explosions. So it's exactly like it sounds like. You can check it out now. In other releases, Eye for an Eye has gotten a printable PDF copy that you can get now. So it's of course another print and play game. This one is free to print out, but it will not include all the characters. Only 2 characters are included in this printable version of it, just to get you a taste and see how it is. It includes the rules, the board, and all the materials for these 2 characters. You can play them out, test them out, and if you're interested, you of course can buy the full copy with all the different characters afterwards. But it's a good way for you to test the waters, check it out, and see if you like it. Links to that will of course be definitely in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. So that's it for the news for this week. Of course, links to any of these stories, I will leave them in the description below. Remember to, of course, like, subscribe, and share. It's always important to share the news. If you have any questions about any of these news stories or anything else, you're free to leave them in the comments below. I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. If you have any important discussion-type questions that you think would be appropriate for us to answer when we discuss these topics and more on Discussing Tabletop, this Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at www.twitch.tv/TantosAndDracovin, then go ahead, leave those in the description here. Any other suggestions for topics related to this or more, any question, and as I said, the questions yourself. Or you are always allowed to send us an email at discussingtabletop@yahoo.com, and we will also take any suggestions or questions there if you're using them for Discussing Tabletop. So feel free to leave any questions here. If it seems like it's a big one, we'll throw it over to Discussing Tabletop. Or if you think it's better for us to discuss it there, we'll also throw it over there. But regardless, if you do want to show some extra support for the channel overall, you can always check out my Patreon link in the description below. It has goals of things like upgrading all the art for the channel, maybe getting an editor, things like that will make a lot more exciting for the channel, and you can help us grow and see that big support. So go ahead and check that out now if you're really interested in it. But until the next time, I bid you farewell.